Hi everybody, I'm back. Finally, after about a month of waiting. Started up the computer. I have no idea what it's doing. Probably have to turn on the internet. Yep, have to turn on the internet. Anyhow, got to turn off Hong Kong Fooey here. Where's the remote? Have to turn it on for noise. The kids are here. Sheldon's outside doing what Sheldon does. There, Hong Kong Fooey is down. Gonna work on sharp sticks this time. I got everything inside that I wanted to do. Gonna try and do something with that little bit right there, which ought to be interesting. And I got a bunch of ferrite beads. Haven't been in the back yet. The game camera batteries appear to be dead. Got dishes, lots of dog food, a little bit of tea, some pomegranate and other juices, some hemp fiber. That's legal, by the way. What else? Great big giant magnet came in the mail. It's up there. Gonna make a UFO detector maybe. Gonna try a couple little experiments. Got an arm guard for the bow. But I'm gonna try a couple of experiments this time and see if I can do something I haven't done in a while. Let's go back in the back and see what it's doing. I'm going to set these up here on the toolbox for now. The shelf is still there. That's a good sign. The bikes are still here. That's another good sign. It smells like wood. Okay, we're charging at 19 amps. I don't see any giant monster spiders around here. That's good. 110, let's see, we're at 14.06 volts, 19 amps, 274 watts. According to that, we're using on the 110 14 amps and 1.87 amps. And as I figured, this one is locked up. There's another one ordered, but it hasn't come yet. I'll just disconnect it and reset it. It doesn't work. It doesn't function when it's locked up. The others are working okay. Got 10 amps on the east side. Oops, I went too far, didn't I? 10 amps on the roof. Amps on the west side. I don't know why I'm going too far. And 10 amps. Well, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Okay, I went going the wrong way. 0 amps on the roof. I don't know what I'm thinking. 0 amps on the east. 7 amps on the roof, and 12 amps on the west, and this one's locked up. So I just need to grab a 9/16 wrench and disconnect the fuse and pull one of these out, get it reset. Probably just leave that one undone until the other controller shows up. But everything seems to be working. It's a little bit trace of gas on the cap on this battery and this battery. A little bit on all of them, not very much. Okay, so I think I'm going to really seriously not do a whole lot this time. I have lots of sharp sticks I could work on, and had an awesome game on World of Tanks this morning before I left Colorado, before the power went out. I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to post that on a different channel. But the dishes, Sue picked them out. They're in here. And I got a tool. I can't find parts for that Black & Decker multi-tool, so we got another Ryobi. And that'll cut that edge off up there like it needs to be, and then I'll put a trim on that. It's going to look good with any luck. And Sheldon's busy sliming the door. Aren't you? What a slime dog. And it is, what's the temperature? 71 inside and 73 outside. So that's not too shabby. But I need to get stuff put away. Get all that stuff put away, and we'll go from there. I'll be back. Okay, gotta figure out how to turn the volume down on this POS. Okay, what I have done is I've gone out and bought from Amazon bags and bags and bags of chokes. I'm going to try and knock down some of the radio interference on the inverter. It's probably not going to be as easy as it sounds. I may have to try and build a Faraday cage around the inverter. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start out. I've got a little Grundig radio in there. I don't want to dig out the big radio. It's really heavy and big. I'm going to put it on a nice noisy channel. I got to put batteries in it still. And just kind of listen and see if there's any change. The interference off of that inverter, it's Power Tech on, what model is that? PS 1004. It's so bad that I have to turn the squelch up all the way on the APRS radio and turn the volume down. Well, that's not exactly the best way to do it. So what I'm going to do is try and reduce the noise. I'll also go out and listen to it on the APRS radio and see if it comes down any. So I'm going to get started on that. I'll be back. Okay, I'm on 10 megahertz on my little Grundig radio. You can hear all the hash and noise. We're going to walk out here about 30 or 40 yards from the house. You should be hearing the world time clock right now. There's so much noise from the inverter, it's not happening. Just heard somebody tuning their radio. You still hear the noise. Now you can hear the clock. Kind of faint, still some noise. You see how far away I am from the house. So I'm going to turn that off for a minute and walk back. First thing I'm going to do is plug in the filter that I bought 4 or 5 months ago and do the same test. I'll walk out into the field and see if it reduces the noise at all at a distance. We'll see what happens. Baby's still afraid to come outside. He doesn't like it. He's just a scaredy cat. He'll get used to it. I don't even know where he's at. Alright, so I'm going to go back there and plug in the filter, and I'll be back. Okay, this is the filter. This is a Morgan Manufacturing Model M473. It's supposed to clean up everything, but it doesn't seem to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to plug that in just yet, and the AC is disconnected. So I'm going to do the same test, walk out in the field, and see how much the house is doing the transmitting, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's actually a little bit worse with it disconnected from the house, but I can hear the WWV at the same distance away from the house. Somebody just tuned across the band again. You hear that little whir sound when it goes flying across. It's because somebody's transmitting and tuning at the same time. It's illegal, but what the heck? What can you do? Radio communications are going to be pretty important. You're going to want to know what's going on when the shit hits the fan. You're going to want to know what's going on, and your curiosity will overcome any fear or anything like that. But let me go back there and plug that filter in. As a matter of fact, I think what I'll do this time is turn the inverter completely off and see what it does. That's not a problem. I can disconnect it from the system. Okay, so I'm going to trip over Sheldon, push him out of the way 7 or 8 times, and go over here. I'm going to turn this off here. So the inverter's off, but what I'm going to do is unplug the power also, and that's easy on this system. I just pull the switch, and the inverter is juiceless. There's nothing getting to the inverter now. So let's go in here if I can get past baby now. I need to put on some suntan lotion and get out there. Okay, wrong radio. So let's turn this on. There's still some static, but none of the hum. Let's give it a minute here. Yeah, I can hear it right outside the house. I can hear the WWV right outside the house. So the noise is coming from the inverter. So the first thing I'm going to do now, or the next thing I'm going to do, is plug the inverter in. I know this isn't going to help. I've already tried it. I'm going to plug the inverter in. No. Let's not do that yet. I'm going to go ahead and put chokes on all the input. Everything coming out of the charge controllers, there'll be a choke. That'll help eliminate the charge controllers a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll do another test. I'll be back. Okay, we're still on WWV. I got a bunch of chokes to put on. I do need a few more of the large style. But I can hear WWV now just perfectly well inside the house. But that doesn't do me a lick of good if I can't use the AC. So let's turn the AC back on. Okay, let's turn back on. Flip the switch. I want to try one other thing before I do that. I hooked all this up again. Let's disconnect that. That way nothing from the solar panel area should be getting into the inverter lines. Go back in there and see how it sounds now. The house is grounded to death, in case you're wondering. There's ground rod at that end and a couple at the other end. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it fine. And I'm deaf. Alright, I'm going to install the rest of those chokes just on the DC lines going to the lights and stuff. And I'll be back. Okay, I put all those chokes, little beads on there, ferrite things. You can hear WWV just talking away. Turn the inverter on. It's reduced a little bit. But not much. So let's turn that off again for just a second. Set this down. Disconnect this filter. Taking this filter offline. And turn this on. Find the button. So that filter does seem to be helping a bunch. Now the next step really should be putting a filter on the input, but I don't have one. According to the ham radio forums, when you're using an inverter, put a filter on the input. But I think I'm going to bypass that and build a Faraday shield all the way around this. Let's turn that off. Plug this filter back in. If I can. Redo that experiment. Turn this back on. Okay, so that is helping. It doesn't like it when it's in my hand very much. Probably had my hand over the antenna. I can walk all the way through the house and not have much issue, but you can really hear the interference. Let's go back in here again. I'll turn this off again. I'm going to mount this up here, somewhere here, and make sure the two are grounded together. Turn that back off. I'm going to unplug it too. Now all the electronics in the house are off. The only thing that are on are these two LED lights. What happens if I turn those off? Because I have heard that LED lights put out a lot of interference also. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so we still have the list. I put that down on 5 megahertz because I couldn't get the 10 megahertz signal anymore today. I'm boycotting Facebook today because of stuff that they did to conservatives. So I won't be on there today. There's a bunch of those beads. I need to get more. I put them on all the inputs and all the outputs. I need to get some 10 gauge. These are supposed to be 10 gauge, but they don't fit 10 gauge. They fit cheap 10 gauge. They fit 12 gauge okay. Alright, so there's that. I don't think I want to go anywhere in the car today. I might. It's really nice out. Get the dogs in and go for a ride. I want to do an experiment, and so I have to go to the store to get the parts for that. So I'll be back. Okay, I've just been fiddle farting around in here. The controller that I need is in Illinois right now. Hopefully it'll be here in a day or two. But it's still working, no problem. Charging at 16 amps, which total charge right now is 43 amps. And it's bumping up and down. That means something here is turning off and on. This one's not on right now. Nothing's warm. This one's not on right now. Those are the two roof chargers. This one's off. This one's out east. So they're just cycling away. I should probably go ahead and run this wire on down through and get it where it needs to be. And go ahead and install that one goes right here. I can go ahead and install a plug on that, no problem. I think I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I've got a World of Tanks video uploading. If you see World of Tanks and you're a subscriber, just ignore it. I do play World of Tanks quite a bit. It's about the only game that I play really. Not a big into gaming. But that one is a relaxing game. It's really breezy outside right now. About like Rollins. A little bit less windy than Rollins, I think. I can see somebody down there playing with the backhoe way down there. And they were working on the road when I came in yesterday, so that road could be gravelly. Have to be careful. So I'm going to get started on, go ahead and run that wire, get it out of the way, and then put in this outlet. That'll give me 12 volts in here. If I go anywhere, I'm going to go to Home Depot and get some screen type metal to build a Faraday cage around that, and I'll get that filter installed properly so it's not just hanging there. Not sure how I'm going to do that. Probably have to go up high with it. American Manufacturing Model M473. This one was highly recommended on some of the forums, and I don't know if it works or not. It's a 40 amp controller. I'm not using 40 amps on anything. And then I found the input filters. I'll need to put an input filter on that also. That's what's recommended. So, and I also heard this fan turn on once last night, which it hasn't done in a long time. Haven't heard it turn on. Ouch! There is a splinter in my shoe. Gonna have to get that fixed too. Alright, back to work. I've been goofing off most of the day. I got this wiring back here kind of corrected. Some of it hooked up. The one outlet in the bedroom, this one here, is hooked up now. And I even put a fuse in it. So what I'm going to do next is work on that wall in here. I got that installed, 12 volt. I gotta turn the volume on this here boob tube down. So I'm gonna work on that right there right now. I got this all covered up. Just gonna put a trim piece along that. I did not go to the store to buy metal for the Faraday cage for the box, for the inverter. I'll do that tomorrow in the morning. I just got lazy today. I deserve to get lazy. Need to every once in a while. So, back to work. Okay, I notched that out up there with this here tool. This funny looking thing. I like Ryobi tools. They're pretty darn decent. So now, where's that metal at? Take a piece of this and put it up here, like so, kinda. Looks like I need to go up just a hair more so it'll fit better, because I'm about a 1/4 inch off. So I'll need to trim another 1/4 inch off of that to get this up in. Not a problem. Here we go. Okay, there's that molding up on along the covered walls. Came out pretty good. I'm going to put a piece up there. I'll have to pick one up tomorrow if I can. And we may put it along the bottom of the cupboards in there also. That should work out pretty good. And put a piece over here just for accent. I don't know, maybe not, maybe a piece of wood or something, but I'll have to put a little piece right in there at least. So that looks pretty good. And then we'll also put a piece up there. There's insulation up there between the wood and the wall, but a piece of that molding will help seal it up. So I got some cling peaches here. I'm going to eat them. I'll go ahead and get this one here published tonight. I'll be back.